It takes. Oops. Pop up. Okay, we are live. This is kind of just. I've been meaning to do a video to finish out this for a while, but had family and stuff come in. Hold on, let me share everything. And I don't know if you guys have checked out. They also still mystery done a little. The episode was like 42 minutes. Like half of it was on Kyle. I'm trying to remember because I didn't get to put all this together like I wanted to, because I had to work a lot. But we had some interesting stuff come up over the last few weeks. So as you can tell from the title of this, it's where was he going? Because we said in our last video that he was still going to Kentucky, but not to his mom like it was speculated. Well, I ended up talking to a girl, and she had sent me a bunch of screenshots of the conversation she had with Kyle. They kind of sent different, but it goes up to June 15th. So, it's all fits the time frame. May, but basically just kind of talks about she was going to basically buy his ticket and go, and he was going to go there and she was going to pick him up. And like here, this was in May talking about if his dad knew, and he said that he thought he would just leave a note or something because he wouldn't let me go if I told him. And she's like, so no one knows. Nope, it's my plan with a couple of buddies who are going to drive me to the bus station willing, but they're chill. Like, so this was, the May 19th, roughly, or May 18th. Those messages after that's right. So I'm assuming it's all in that night. Let me see if I can find. But basically, a lot of us just talking back and forth of how to pay for it, and like he would pay her back, stuff like that. And let me see what. He talked about how much he missed her and missed all of them down there. And then here he's mentioned that he don't think money will help, that he doesn't have a ride. And she mentioned about the bus. And this is basically where, he started talking about the bus and about her paying for it. And he talks about feeling unlovable and stuff like that. But then he says basically that he's dead on the inside and stuff like that. Let me see if I can find the screenshot that mentions. Because another part, he said he needed a little bit more money. And then he said he was $8 short. Well, I think this part of the message came in May. Because I talked to the gentleman where we mentioned about them robbing somebody. And it was reported up to, what was it, 1,000 to 1,500. Well, that guy said it was 120, and they split it three ways because there was another person. I don't know who the other person was or anything like that, but that could maybe explain. But he done that supposedly the night before he disappeared, so that's what I'm not sure on. Because if it was in May, then he wouldn't have the 40. But yeah, another part that she asked if he talked to his dad. He said that he did. He already took care of that. And she said, how? He's like, I talked to him already. He agreed about taking a long time. He said, if I got a job, visit him, my grandparents regularly on breaks, so it's all good. And he said he decided to take charge about a week ago and that he hated it here and he wanted to come home and he's done staying there. And like, so then it goes on with the whole thing about paying. But her thought on the matter. Okay, she said, she's like, I don't think Kyle was going to the bus that night. The last messages were the night before he went missing and died. I was supposed to buy his bus ticket that following Monday, the day I got paid, which that following Monday, I believe, would have been the 20th. I don't believe he had hundreds of dollars because, as you can see, he was $8 short of 48, which means he only had $40, and that was on May 19th. So she's the one that said May 19th. So that's why it kind of maybe jacks up the other part. Less than a month before his death, he was coming home and was planning on living with me. He said he had talked to his dad about it. I don't know if that part is true or not, but I do know that on the 16th or 17th, state troopers showed up at my house and searched our house to see if he was hiding out there, and obviously he wasn't. And she mentioned about where she lived, and just the road from his grandfather's, and that's how they met and were best friends. But apparently, when they had found Kyle, they found a note in his pocket or wallet with my address and $48 written on it. That's why they believed he was trying to go to the bus stop. He says he's planning on having a couple buddies drive him to the bus stop, but they're chill. I don't know who the friends were, and I wish he would have told me more. But my opinion is whoever he was with that night robbed him, beat him up so badly, and left him. They took his phone, destroyed it, and threw it over a hill. That's what I heard. That's what we've talked about in other videos. And didn't expect him to die. I think he got in a really bad concussion, went down and laid under the bridge and fell asleep. We know you're not supposed to sleep with a concussion, but he did and died in his sleep. I think that's why they have no evidence of who killed him, but I do believe whoever it was, he was in that car that night with him, knows exactly what happened, and was terrified of getting in trouble because of their eyes. It was an accident, but of course, that's just my opinion. But she said, but if he was going to the bus station that night, he would have told me for the simple fact that I was supposed to pick him up from the bus station here in Kentucky once he arrived. So it doesn't make sense on why he wouldn't tell me. Not to mention, as you can see in the messages, 3 days beforehand, we were talking about money issues and how much a bus ticket would cost. So that's basically her thoughts on it. Okay. But from my understanding, I talked to a lady that was real close with Kyle, and she had mentioned that Willing took over after they did find out the body was Kyle, and Moundsville done all the interviews, talking with people, and then once Willing took over, it seemed like they just quit talking about it. So that's just kind of weird. But there are the ones that also thought he was an adult male, and
And they also thought he was 6 foot and he was like 5'5".
Yeah, me and her thought like I don't think really, even if they blanket or nothing would make, I would not put that much weight on you or height at all. Um, that's, but she was thinking that his dad had reported missing at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. that night, and that he didn't come home from football practice, but it was raining. But I talked to the boy that said that they robbed the older gentleman. He said that he went. Hold on, let me find the message. That he had went to. He said he had to go to eat dinner with his dad. And that was the last time he seen him. Uh, yeah, he said he left because I said you were with Kyle at night. He left. You know roughly what time and how he would have got to the one suspect. But he said, yeah, he left closer to dinner time and said he had to go eat dinner with his dad. And he said he didn't see him after he went to his dad. So apparently, I guess he snuck out at some point in the night or something. But she had mentioned that two boys had done more questioning, um, and done a lot of trying to get out there, find out, who killed their best friend. And she did say that Kyle had ran with the wrong crowd, which could explain why he was talking about getting his life straight. Remember where that one girl said that? And then there's a story of one of the boys that's tied into all of this. Not not the one that drove him up there, wasn't the grandma and stuff. But he had basically was in a gas station and said he's already dead before they knew that he was dead. That's why they kind of think he's connected. And this is where it goes into money that they stole 1,000 to 1,500, and knows who did it, but no answer. But station closed a long time ago. The bus station traffic camera right there. Police refused to, I guess, look at it, but they might have, because I think in the show Still Mystery, did they mention? They didn't really like. How did they specify that? I'm trying to think, because they, what time did they? Because I know they said they dropped. Like there was proof that he got dropped off. Remember, like the time was like really late, or not? Is it like
Yeah,
11
I
or
know what you're
something?
talking about, but I don't remember like exact.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the exact time.
Which like the way they did that is like I know some stories do it like that, but I hate when they go back and forth between two stories because I can't really follow them.
Yeah, they
Like it's
didn't
hard
really
for me
go
to like
into a whole
focus.
lot with the people that drove them up there. But a lot of people, feel they did do it. The cops feel they don't. So there has to be something there to make them feel that. But she was talking about the William police made it seem like he, went to sleep under the bridge to wait for the bus station to open. I don't see him. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't think he would sit underneath the bridge and sleep.
Not if he was already with friends. Like his friends wouldn't just be like, "Yeah, sure, dude. Like go to sleep and wait." Like I'm sure they'd be like, "Hey, hang out with us."
Uh, I just don't know how he got with Josh. Well, I don't know. That's the thing. Because if you heard the interview, like that's what I don't know. I'm not sure how he got with him. But where's the message? Uh, okay, yeah, but I'm thinking it was 11 o'clock because she was kind of saying that if he was leaving at, like, if there's proof that he was dropped off at 11 o'clock at the bus station, because they said they had some kind of video. Yeah, that's where it was. I found it interesting that they interfered inferred that they had some kind of video evidence where the grandma was concerned. So what was that? If they had proof that she dropped him off at 11 p.m., why didn't they tell his dad that? Like, if there's video proof to show that they actually dropped him off, why, you know what I mean? Like, why are
Yeah.
they not showing, hey, we did drop him off? Like, that's what I'm not understanding. And she said that she did not believe there was any way it was that early. He would have had to have left his house by 10 p.m. to meet up with them, make the way to Willie, and there was no way that his dad was asleep by then. And she was talking about the time frames didn't add up.
How far did they listen?
I know we talked about one of the videos. It's not very, maybe 20 minutes tops.
Good.
But she had talked and said that Kyle definitely wasn't running away. I've never heard him because that one boy said that he ran away. And she guessed that he had all the important stuff in his backpack that was all missing from his room. And that he probably would have been going to the girl, the Anastasia girl. She's also in Still Mystery.
I love that name.
And that may have been what his surprise for her was, because in the message to her, he had mentioned about, I got to tell you something. So maybe he was going to, well, you would think that he would still say, hey, I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
Like, even if that's a surprise, but if he was, unless he had a,
If she was supposed to pick him up, you
yeah,
think he
it would
would.
have been like he would have somebody else pick him up in Kentucky and bring him to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he kind of wonders, the gentleman she talked to, which her husband said that he wondered if they robbed the guy, the older gentleman, for that purpose because he didn't have money. That could make sense if he's talking with her. I don't have the money, but he seemed like he felt bad borrowing the money from her and stuff, and that would have been. But they said the police is what was saying the 1,000 to 1,500, and with the guy that I talked to saying if there's a third person involved, is the first time any of them have heard that. And the police have only said it was them two. So if there's a third person involved, who is this third person? I've reached out to him. I have not heard back from him. And said that Kyle wouldn't have asked his dad for a ride or her sons because he wouldn't have wanted them to tell his dad where he went. So to me, it sounds like he told Anastasia that, hey, I've already talked to everybody. They're cool with it, but they're, you know what I mean.
They
He did.
weren't
He
cool.
wasn't. He was being kind of rebellious teen. He didn't line up he didn't put his ducks in a row, I guess you'd say.
I don't know. It kind of sounded like he had a good plan. He just shitty people.
And I still don't think he'd leave his phone behind. But even if he was surprising Anastasia, that's another thing that she mentioned. That when he got to Kentucky, call her and say, "Guess what? I'm here." You know, that could have been something too.
Well, yeah, I could see that. Like, she would still be able to pick him up. It would just be like, surprise.
Yeah, surprise. Yeah, that would make sense. Like I said, if there's a third person involved in the robbery, that could possibly tie into some stuff, I think. Then again, it may not, because I just wonder, could it be who it could be? But she said, because I was asking about the rain, because she said it was like a steady rain, heavy at times. And there's a parking garage about a block from there. Let's see. Him and Josh was not good friends. And she mentioned about the grandmother gave him weed, but I think it was, I don't know. I just know they smoked in the car, so we do know. But backpack and wallet, she said that it was possibly never found. I know one thing it was mentioned that
The backpack and wallet?
Yeah, one thing was mentioned that the backpack was found like on up from his body, and she still corrected that he still had his phone on. He was the type of person always has phone.
Well, most people are.
Yeah. And like I said, if he was going to Kentucky,
Yeah,
he was meeting somebody.
He was leaving.
Just the whole ghost thing, I still don't believe in. One kid, she believes that maybe he was set up to be jumped.
Could be.
Because that's one story rumor going around. And
that happened.
Supposedly one kid, because remember in the interview I done with Courtney, she had mentioned about a video of him getting in a fight with a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But the video never surfaced. Nobody knows nothing about it. And said one kid kicked him in the head with a steel toe boot. And one had drug connections, and he was interviewed. So could it be drug related?
Probably. I don't know the whole drug vibe from it. Like maybe if he wasn't into like harder stuff.
They said he was at the wrong crowd, but still.
Like even if he was just buying weed and got kind of involved with the wrong people, it still could have fucked him up.
I know a lot of people said there too, like he's one of the type of person that'd give you anything. Like if they wanted money or
they probably
something,
took advantage of him.
Yeah, he could have gave it. He would have gave it to him. Like my life means more than this. But he was set up and stuff like that. So if they kicked him like that, that's one rumor that could have been like that. Kind of like what Anastasia said, more like an accident. They didn't mean to do it type thing. And if he got in a fight, got jumped. So, very possibility. But his girlfriend that he had spoken to mentioned that he was involved, so that Josh was involved. And it still mentioned about him abusing his grandmother.
Who abused his grandmother?
The Josh.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That knows who did it, or he did it. But like I said, it's hard. Like, I don't want to throw him under the bus.
I do.
Well, I know, like everything, like anybody you talk to with this case, it leads to them because they're the last people. I know we've talked about each video we've done. It leads straight to them because they're the last people, and just everything was fishy. But she said like how the phone was found behind the house. It'd basically be the whole just throwing it as far. Like if I walked in out backyard and just threw one of our phones, and wherever it landed, that's where they put it. So if he could throw a phone pretty far, that's how far it was away. Like who does like?
I'm just wondering why this grandma is like on some gangster shit. Like, why is she even involved? Like, even if it was my grandkid or something, I'd still be like, no, man, you fucked up.
Because she was, but she didn't really want to. Because she said maybe a jogger found him and not a homeless guy. She wasn't sure where that came from, but she said she wasn't quite sure on the jogger. That was just one thought that she had.
Who?
The lady I talked to. that
Oh.
found, because there was one report that a homeless person found him.
Well, I thought that's what it was the whole time.
Yeah, but if I could understand a jogger, because just the way the track, people running and stuff.
The joggers always find them, you know.
Yes. And she said that she believed that the phone didn't look like it was out there that long, like it was just guarded after hearing,
Maybe they're like, oh, they
someone
found him.
talk.
We better.
Someone talked, and they're like, "Oh crap, we got to the phone." Because you'd think if it was out there, which I was kind of, because there's still some belief that he never but I don't know though. If there's video proof in that, and it's still a mystery, you can check it on YouTube. I know we shared it. But if there's video proof, because I know some belief was that he could have been at somebody's house, got killed there, and they transported him there, type thing. A lot of people sometimes felt that the crime and murder did not happen at that specific location.
Not specific. No, I don't think so.
So could he have been at Josh's house or with other people, got killed, transported him there, dumped him,
Maybe
drove
he was
away?
like killed on the way, and they just like pulled over. It's like, oh, this place up here.
Because what's weird though is just the whole. I got one guy that I talked to that lives up there. He said, you got the apartment complex or building or something with a bunch of people. He's like, it'd be hard to get in there. But he said there was one way of getting in there without anybody really noticing. And if it's like a lot of homeless people down there, you think one of them would have seen them, especially if it's raining.
But they may have not talked either.
I don't know. It's a lot to take in, but like I said, if there's video proof that they did drop Kyle off, I think it should be released because it's not going to hurt nothing. I wouldn't think. Would you think it would hurt anything? What is it going to show? Them dropping him off and driving away. Like if they see him getting out of their car, he's still alive. They drive off. They know, unless the only way you could take it would be if they came back to do
Like
something.
looked for him.
Yeah, but
I don't know, but I can understand people being scared. These cops are fucking dirty.
Well, yeah, but it's still weird. They could have still said
They
something.
could have pinned it on him, even if it wasn't true.
Them being sketchy afterwards is what makes them look guilty.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
Be like, yeah, he might have, which in a way you could kind of believe them saying that he was going ghost because he might have been going ghost from people in Willing. Well, in Willing, because it seemed like trying to go away. Like, might not be nothing bad. He might just not like that area or something. We don't know his personal life. We just know that he was going. Sorry, my nose was itchy, but we just know that he was going there. So, like I said, but she felt that he wasn't going to the bus station. So, if he wasn't going there, could he have maybe said something? Because if they knew that he was going to go there eventually, so it's either he got the money, was going to surprise Anastasia by going there early, or he could have said that he was going there because she said the money or something was written on it. You know what I mean? Like said that he was going there, and so they're like, well, we could stage this to make it look like he went there. You know what I mean?
No, I'm sure he probably told
if he
his
told
closest people they talked to.
Yeah, and if you say that,
like, oh, dude, I'm leaving.
Say that you kill somebody at your house, and they're like, well, he's going to Kentucky. Like we could go drive away to a bus station, like rig it off. I don't know if somebody goes through that far of a length, but you know what I mean. Like they could put him somewhere else to make it look like they weren't connected to the crime, possibly. Like that's one way you could look at it. But because if there is video proof from the bus station, them dropping him off, what if it wasn't him? How good? Because a lot of the cameras the ones I use at work, they're good, but you got some of them that are really grainy and crappy. What if it wasn't one of them, and maybe say somebody just got out of a car to make it look like him, and then they end up walking off and got in the car later on off camera,
like down the road, yes.
Yeah, to make it look kind of like, oh yeah, we did drop them off. Because the only thing I can think of is why the police don't feel that they, know that don't feel it was them, the grandmother and stuff like that.
I don't know. They seem real suspicious.
Yeah, they're real out there. But the only way I understand the cops not thinking they're all suspects is due to the video proof that they mentioned in the show. Unless there ain't even any video proof at all, but you would think they would show something. I think they would show it. But you would think though with his ex girlfriend as well, because she had mentioned he's involved. So what did she see? So there's too many angles and variables. But I do have a blog coming out. Most people know that I write different serial killers and killers here and there. Don't do as much as I used to, but I talked to Todd Cullenhep, and he actually gave his opinion on it. It's still kind of out there.
Is it
but
Cullenhep or Cullenhep?
Cullenhep, something like that.
I think it's Cullenhep.
Like it's a little out there, but he done it for us with the Leah Hickman case. So that will be out Wednesday, and I'll share it as soon as it comes out. And then I've put my name out there to possibly get a hold of Josh. So I'm waiting to see if I can actually, maybe he'll actually talk to me, and we can see what his story is. Because like every video and everybody that we've talked to so far, a lot of it points to him and his grandmother or something. Even if the grandma transported him there, like he knows something. I think. Like he might not know anything, but he knows maybe he can tie some stuff up and see what he has to say. Because, like I said, everybody that looks at him,
I'll listen to that one. I kind of want to hear excuses.
like I said, he might not, talk to me, but I've talked to somebody that knows him, and he's still in jail at the moment. I think he gets out at the end of the year. We're almost in August, I think, at the end of the year. But we'll see how that goes. And if he does, then if I can talk to him on the phone or something, then later on, if this all does work out, then maybe record a phone conversation and interview him and see what he has to say. But I guess that will be a wrap, unless you have anything else to add. So, like I said, I hope you all learned something in this video. I know, like I said, it took a while to get this out, but so key factors, overall view, third person possibly involved with the robbery. Was Kyle actually going to Kentucky that night? Where was he going? Since we know that the dates that he gave Anastasia, like they were meeting up later, like where does this all tie in at? So, like I said, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you eventually on the next video.